Welcome back. In this video, we'll be dealing with multiple conditional statements. But before we continue, if you have any comment pertaining the series from the onset, you are free to drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me know. Let me have your feedback as pertaining the series. Okay, that's that for that. And you can also give the video a like. So let's push the video up for others to see. Okay, so for multiple conditional statements, in the previous conditional statement we've talked about conditional statement and we've talked about nested conditional statement. So for simple conditional statement, just one out of the conditions can only be true, and as soon as one is true, all other conditions will be neglected. For example, in the previous video we have this age checker that is categorizing users to age, to child, teenager, young adult, and senior. So in these code blocks now, as soon as one of the condition is true, if this condition is true, all other blocks will be neglected. That is for a simple conditional statement. Only one of the statements can be true and all others will be neglected. But for multiple conditional statements, you can have multiple conditions to be true and all of them will be executed so far the conditions are true. So how do we implement multiple conditional statements? You implement multiple conditional statements by writing separate conditional statements. You are not nesting them inside of one another, you are writing them separately. For example, if we have this if statement and you have the condition. So if this condition is true, then you implement this code block. Implement this code block. Alright, so if the condition is true, you implement that code block, else you implement this code block. So this is the syntax for a simple conditional statement. Okay, we can define a condition. This is telling us that condition is not defined, so we can say condition. The condition is equal to true, can assign true to it. So this is a simple conditional statement. To have multiple conditional statements, you are just going to write separate conditional statements so that one of them is not dependent on another. All of them are independent. So you can say if this is one condition, then you can have another which is not nested inside of the other. You can also have another one. So implement this code block. So implement this code block. Alright, so we have multiple conditional statements. We're having these errors because we are not implementing any code in each of the blocks. So okay, let's have an example. We want to implement a checker that is checking if a number is positive. We also check if the number is even. We also check if the number is a multiple of 5. So in that case, we will not be needing this else for now. We can comment this out, comment this out, comment this out. Okay, to avoid confusion, we can as well get rid of them. Get rid of the else block to avoid confusion for beginners. And so implement this code block. Alright, so we want to check if we ask the user for a number. Let's say number is equal to int. You can use float for a floating point number. Input, so ask the user to enter a number. Alright, so we can say if number is greater than 0, that means the number is positive. So we can print your provided number is positive. Alright, so if this condition is true, then the provided number is positive. We want to have another independent conditional statement here. So we can also check if the number is even. We want to check if the number is even, then we have number modulo 2. You know, any number that is perfectly divisible by 2 is going to be positive. So you can as well print another statement here. You can say your provided number is even number. You can also check if the number is a multiple of 5, that is, if the number is divisible by 5. So number modulo 5. If the number is perfectly divisible by 5, that means it is a multiple of 5. Then you can print your number is a multiple of 5. Alright. So we have these 3 conditional blocks that are perfectly independent of each other. Yeah, this can be true, this can be true, and this can be true. Assuming we are using else if, that means only one of them can be true. But here, these are multiple conditional statements, and each of them can be true independently. So we can run this. We can have a number that is greater than 0, that is positive, that is perfectly divisible by 2, which is even and is also a multiple of 5. A number that satisfies these 3 conditions can be 10. If we have 10, so we have a number is positive, your number is even number, your number is a multiple of 5. If we have 15, let's run this again. 15 is going to be positive, but 15 is not going to be even, but 15 is going to be a multiple of 5. So if we enter 15, so just 2 blocks will be executed. You have your provided number is positive and your provided number is a multiple of 5. So this is a perfect example of multiple conditional statement. They are perfectly independent of one another. And in a multiple conditional statement, you can also have else. You can have else, you can have if. So just like for the first example, if a number is greater than 0, that means the number is positive. But if the number is else, we can say else, that means if the number is less than 0. Else, so we can say, we can print an inverse statement that is saying your number is negative. This is still multiple conditional statement. This is independent of this. So here we can also have else for this even check. So you can say else, you can say your number is odd number. Alright. So here we can also say else, and it's not compulsory. You can as well leave this. You can say else your number is not a multiple of 5. So we can have this check. If we run this again, we have a prompt to the user to provide a number, enter a number. So if the user provide, let's say -6, -6 is going to be negative. -6 is perfectly divisible by 2, which makes it an even number. So you can see this condition is not true, so we are printing this. But this condition is true, so we are printing this. Let's say we have -7. -7 is going to be negative and it's going to be odd. So we can say -7. Alright, so your provided number is negative, your provided number is odd number. So that's that. And you can also add else if, just like this first condition. So you can say elif number is equals 0. If number is equals 0, that means your number is 0. It is neither positive nor negative. It is standing in between. So you can also have it like this. All of them, they are perfectly independent of each other. Okay, so that's that about multiple conditional statement. And you should always take note of your indentation. The indent is always paramount. If you put this in an indent level that is inside of this, that means this is going to be nested inside of this, no matter the number of lines in between them. Assuming you have it like this, let's say you have it like this, so you see you have an error, an unintended amount does not match previous indent. So you can see we have that error. This is the function of error length. If I disable my error length, we are not going to have this, but we are going to have syntax highlighting. Where's my error length? Can't find my error length. Okay, this is it. This is error length. If I disable this now, then you are not going to have those highlighting, you are just going to have it like this. Okay, this is multiple conditional statement, you see, but you are still going to have this syntax highlighting my VS Code. Okay, for error length is going to split the error into your face so that you know that you are writing bugs in your code. Okay, so that's that about indentation. Indentation is paramount with Python. Alright, that's that about multiple conditional statements. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next lesson.